Hi everyone, it's Kent here from Game Logic Design. Today I'm just going to take you through a little bit about styling in the upcoming release of 4D Publish. So I'm just going to create a page, create a PDF, and I'm actually going to resize this because I don't need the 3D view for this example. And I'm just going to draw a button on the screen. So buttons have styles. So the style, you can change the stroke size, you can change the stroke color, you can change the alpha of the stroke. You can also have a filled background and change the fill color and the fill opacity as well. And buttons also have text as well, so you can put your own text on there. So you can have text in the background of the button. But sometimes you might not want to have text in there, and you might want to just have your own text on an image, or just use an image underneath the text itself. So all you need to do is just drag an image, and you can drag an image straight on the box and it'll put the text straight underneath it. So if you had an image that represented your button, you can just use that directly, and you can just turn both of those things off. And if you don't need the text at all, you just get rid of the text, so you have text on your image itself. And it allows you to style the PDF page a little bit better to your liking. And buttons also have a rounded rectangle, but unfortunately with PDFs in Acrobat Reader, the rounded rectangle option does not work if you've got an image in the background. But if you don't have an image in the background, it'll work in here, but it won't work when you export it. So yeah, so you can't really use this if you've got a background image. But let me just show you how that works. If I just have a style, I turn the stroke on, and we'll say the stroke is there. We'll have it filled, and we'll make a filled color, that color, and we'll put some text on there, testing. And now I'll just export that out, and we'll see what that looks like. And there you see the file there. So it's got the round, looks almost the same. The only thing different is going to be the text, because currently we don't have font support within 4D Publish. But you can change that here if you need to. So all these things have styles. So if I wanted a text box, I can put a text box on here, and I can also style the text box as well. I can have it filled, fill color. I can have a border, and you can also have it with rounded rectangle as well, I believe. And then we can put some text in there as well. And we'll make the text color white, a little bit of grey, white. And we'll change it so that it's a bit bigger. And then because of the rounded rectangles, we kind of want to offset that as well. So let's offset that by maybe 20 and 20 from the top. So now it kind of looks okay in the box. Let's see what that looks like when we export it out. And here you can see the text is in the box on the screen there. But again, if we put an image in the background and I export that, then unfortunately, because of the way PDFs are, it's just going to make that square. So we'll just remove that. And we've also got other shapes here. So you've got just a rectangle. So if you don't want a button, you just want a rectangle, you can just make a rectangle. Do the same things with the styles. So again, they all have the same styles in here that you can play with. We have circles. Unfortunately, circles can't have a background image. The only thing that can have a background image is the rectangle shapes, such as those ones there. But you can still style the lines and all the colors of the circle as well. Circle also has the radius, so you can adjust that later on. We've got a basic line tool just for drawing straight lines. They also have styles. And lines also have caps, so if you want to cap them with rounded corners, you can do so. And that will now have a nice round corner on that line. Got a simple star shape. It's not very useful at the moment, but it's got an extra option for smoothing, so you can smooth the corners on your star. And we've got a basic line tool, which we'll get more improvements later on, but it's not really that useful at the moment. But if you need it, it's there. and it has all the same stuff as the line tool, including the caps with the round corners. And it also has one additional feature where if it fills it, it fills it across, and you can also cap the ends of it as well. At the moment, that's an option on here. Probably should be moved to style, but you can close it. Now you've got a closed curve. Now let me just take that stroke, and I'm just going to rescale that down to like 0.4. And then I'm just going to move it somewhere else. And now I'm just going to export this out so you can see that this all exports out to PDF properly. And now you can see it all looks exactly the same, apart from the text because of the fonts. But other than that, it should look exactly the same as it does within Cinema 4D. Okay, now one last thing I want to show is that you can actually apply these to an object on a material. So if I just drag this on, under here I'm going to add a vector image shader, and in this vector image shader I'm just going to drag that page on. Now you'll see it come through and it's being rendered on the object. Now one interesting thing that you can do with all this, now this is not really for 4D Publish, but it's going to be coming for UV Paint later on, is that you may have noticed that every single one of these parameters is animatable, and including the coordinate system. So all these shapes here, if I just move this circle around, you'll notice that it actually updates the coordinate system. So it's using the same coordinates as a normal object, the X and Y. And so you can actually animate the location of these. So I'm just going to try that now. So if I go here, and I'm going to go to frame 41, and I'm going to move it down to here, and I'm going to animate it. So now, if I play that, it's going to animate there. Now it's not animating in OpenGL over here. The reason for that is because I haven't turned on the option within the editor, animate preview. So now, if I animate that, you'll see that it animates in OpenGL and it animates in the view as well. And of course, you can render that. So you can animate every single parameter of all of these objects, including the style, all the stroke width, the colors, anything that you see is animatable, you can animate it. So let me just show an example here. I'm just going to animate the line thickness, stroke width, and I'll animate the color of the fill area. And then we'll come along here as well. Oh wait, go back. I'll go to 42, and we'll just make that bigger, and we will animate that, and then we will change the color to something else, and we'll animate that as well. I don't think I set an animation keyframe back there. But there you can see the color changing. I obviously forgot to create a keyframe for the line width as well. So this isn't something for 4D Publish, really, but it will be coming, and it's going to be part of the system, so you can play with it if you want, but it'll be mainly part of UV Paint. Okay, thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.